The slow, painful, greedy death of Angry Birds. I'm actually really interested about this because my brother, he was super into Angry Birds during the time. So during 2011, it was crazy. He was super like obsessed for some reason. I don't understand. I don't understand. And I will never understand that. Like I'm like, what is going on here? Like every time I went to Mall of America, he always wanted to play the claw machine to get the Angry Birds toys or the plushes. I'm like, bro, dude, stop. Just stop, please. So I'm actually glad that Angry Birds is dead because I never liked that. I never liked mobile games in general. I just never did. And yeah, like just the noises, right? Like the noises of the Angry Birds. I just did not like them.
Angry Birds was back in 2011. Angry Birds was everywhere. They had multiple different games, toys, and movies, generating hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yeah, the Angry Birds movie came out like 10 years after Angry Birds was just like done. You know what I mean? After the whole Angry Birds era was over. I'm like, what the heck? I think like Ian Padilla was in it, right? Right? Was Anthony Padilla in it from Smosh or Ian? Were they in the movie?
But by 2019, they were firing masses of staff, and since then things have only gotten worse. Perhaps it's just karma for stealing the initial idea. Angry Birds wasn't an original concept. In April 2009, a game was released named Crush the Castle, which required players to fire a trebuchet into wooden structure hiding medieval people. Well, 8 months later, in December 2009, game developer Rovio made an app named Angry Birds, which, while clearly being a ripoff, was better in every way.
I do have to say though, right? So video games themselves are ripoffs of each other, right? Like look, every FPS shooter is basically the same. Battlefield, COD, like those are basically the same game. Just different, like just small changes, right? Just to make it a little bit different and have its own identity. Like these two games are completely different. Angry Birds, I mean, obviously the same concept, but different execution. Angry Birds, right? They all have their own little abilities, whereas this one is just a trebuchet. You just throw a rock and that's it.
It had cooler, cleaner animated graphics and different stages, each with different levels. You got
and it's also marketable too.
Points for every enemy killed and points for every bird you didn't use.
If you're watching, yeah, yes I am. I'm watching SunnyV2 about Angry Birds.
Scores. Throw in 5 different birds with 5 different abilities, as well as.
Bro, I'm see my brother's favorite bird. Let's see. I think it was this one, just the red one. God, I hate these birds. The world's gone to shit. What do you mean? What happened?
A cool, catchy soundtrack, and it's easy to see that Angry Birds was better. They developed 51 games prior to Angry Birds, none of which 51 saw games of success. Therefore, when Angry Birds took only 2 months to become the #1 paid app in 60 countries, they understandably took the chance to milk it. They'd make loads of different.
Dude, the fact that they made 70 fucking games before Angry Birds, and once Angry Birds took off, they milked the shit out of this game. I hate Angry Birds so much. That's just what it. No, it's not. It's mine. What do you mean? Angry Birds went hard though. No, it did not.
Varieties like Angry Birds
Angry Birds is always cringe.
Seasons, Angry Birds Space, and Angry Birds Star Wars, helping it become the #1 paid app in Apple's App Store with 6 to 7 million paid downloads. By the end of Angry Birds' first year, they'd made $10 million, but players still demanded more. We have so many.
Oh my god, I remember when like Angry Birds went to space. Remember that? Like it was like Star Wars or some shit. Like oh my god, I remember when that happened.
To have asked for the plush toys. So these are
the
going
pig.
to be available in a couple of
I'm
weeks.
too old to understand,
really
bro. When it was 2011, right? I was 11 years old. Like right when the game came out. What do you mean I'm too old to understand? I was there when it came out. You were probably a fetus.
Angry Birds into this entertainment franchise. It took only 4 months before that announced 60,000 Angry Birds soft toys have been sold, as the game itself became the best-selling paid app of all time. Within Angry Birds itself,
yes, you were 2 or 3. That's cringe.
Like Mighty Eagle, which allowed players to pay to clear entire levels.
What the
with
fuck?
Celebs like Justin Bieber even
That's a paid.
advocating
That's an
for
ad.
it. Angry
That's an ad
Birds
right
made
there.
100 million in 2011 and went from 28 employees in the beginning of the year to 224 employees by the end of 2011. 5 months later, they set a new world record. First
Guinness
mobile
Books of World
game
Record?
series to reach 1 billion downloads. They'd double their revenue again by the end of 2012, at which point they started to face a serious problem. The game was getting stale. They'd made multiple different
Angry Birds was always
Birds
stale.
versions, but hadn't
Yes, oh my god, Angry Birds Space. See, I was correct. I was correct when I said this, right? Angry Birds Space. Bro, I hated these things. The Angry Birds holiday shit. Remember that? When it was like Christmas and Halloween and bro, it's so dumb.
changed the concept in over 3
Yep,
years.
Star Wars.
As a result, in the following year, their profits more than halved, with Angry Birds falling to 59th in the App Store, forcing the franchise to try a new format.
It was not fire.
They'd release Angry Birds Go at the
What?
end of 2013, and while this was somewhat of a Mario Kart ripoff,
What?
people absolutely loved it.
What? People love the Angry Birds cart? I did not know this was a thing. Why would you play this game?
I mean, it's fun. It is good fun. It looks good. It plays well.
What
Professional reviewers gave it 7.7, while people on Reddit
What?
called it their favorite Angry Birds game
No
and
way.
perfection at its finest.
What?
Rovio therefore continued to
Is that an RPG?
experiment, releasing an RPG game
What
named
the fu-
Angry Birds Epic.
They made an
which again
RPG?
received incredible reviews, reading, "The latest Angry Birds title is a welcome addition to a franchise which hasn't seen much change
True.
since its inception back in 2009. Similarly, users said it might be the best RPG title I've ever
No
played.
way, no. See, this is why I hate. This is why I hate mobile games players. This is why I hate them. Why? This is the best RPG title you've ever played, bro. There's Final Fantasy VII. There's Chrono Trigger. There's Mother 3. There's Earthbound. There's Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga. There's Pokemon. There are so many different RPGs. Who are these people?
And honestly, a pretty solid time. I think the approach they went with here really worked and paid off.
The
Yeah,
only
you're 13,
problem
bro.
was these games didn't sell merch like the original Slingshot format. Therefore, merchandise
Oh my
sales
God.
plummeted, while total 2014 revenue dropped, and profits fell 73% to 10 million euros. As a result, media outlets reported Rovio lays off 110 people as
Well, that
Angry Birds
sucks.
hype fades, representing 14% of the company's workforce. They try to fix their decline
What
with
the
yet
f-
another experiment.
Yo, what are they, dude? They are milking Angry Birds so much. Now they're making like a Candy Crush thing. No, wait, it's Peggle. This is Peggle, dude. You guys remember Peggle from Xbox 360? Peggle.
Experiment, Angry Birds Pop, which
This
was
is heartbreaking
pretty
to see.
unsuccessful. In a Reddit thread asking out of all the Angry Birds games,
Which one do you think
which
is the
one do you
worst?
think is the worst?
Which one?
Pop was mentioned many times over. Therefore, they'd
Really?
go back to basics
Oh,
and
what?
put out Angry Birds 2, the official sequel, although
Really?
many called it a downgrade from
downgrade?
the original. The sequel was filled to the brim with microtransactions, clearly annoying the fan base who wrote, "This is a very greedy game that keeps sucking money out of you.
What?
If you play well, the game becomes
But dude, it's so crazy, Scrub. The fact that people are saying that this game was like the worst, and you are saying it was the best. Like what? Nah, dude. It just tells me that your opinions are bad.
harder and harder until it's impossible, and then you either have to replay each level 10 times or buy gems. The game is just trying to throw you off balance and get under your skin so that you pay more. The official IGN review
That
said the
sucks.
game took significant steps backward for the massively popular series. Angry Birds 2 is missing key parts of what made previous games so universally compelling to gamers both hardcore and casual, young
if
and
you're playing
old.
children's games.
Still due
Yeah, but like, you have to think about this, okay, Scrub? Like, okay, Mario is a children game, right? Or it's a child's game, right? You know, in quotation marks. Mario Kart, right? And those are fun ass games. Those are fun games.
Due to its intense monetization.
Dude, back then, right? Back then, games were $60 and you bring it home and you play it. Nowadays, it's like, free to play, which is good, right? Free to play, but there's also pay to win. Who wants that? Who wants that? And gambling too. Who wants that? Why? It's dumb. Gaming back then was way better.
Angry Birds 2 became their highest earning game. Surprisingly, however, that very same year, they'd announced losses of almost 15 million and would fire a further third of their workforce, this time being over 200 people. This seemed to imply
jobs?
that Angry Birds was dead until they'd make an unexpected comeback. Turns out they'd spent the previous 3 years privately developing the Angry Birds movie.
no.
At a cost of 73 million, they'd made a risky bet. But
Really?
with a star-studded cast and a fun little story.
Wait.
they'd made
Who? 73 million? That was the budget?
a risky bet, but with a star-studded cast.
So who is in this? Josh Gad? I don't know who that is. Oh yeah. Yeah, she was in what's that show? It's My Wife and Kids. I remember watching that back then in like the 2010s. Really? It was fire? Or wait, it was fine? I never watched the movie. Peter Dinklage, what the fuck? Sean Penn? Keegan Michael Key?
Story. The
Hannibal Buress? What? Ian, there's Ian. That's so funny.
Angry
I
Birds
knew
movie
it. I knew Anthony and Ian were in it. I knew it. Smosh. I cannot believe that. Part 2. There's a part 2 also.
did surprisingly well. It made over 350 million from its 70 million budget.
No way. 300 million? Oh my god. What?
Budget and put Angry Birds back into the public spotlight.
Dude, this wallpaper, I remember back in the days, right? My brother bought this wallpaper to hang it up on my room. And it was on my room for like 4 years. Yeah, I used to have this one on my room.
People began replaying their previously released games, while Angry Birds theme parks popped
No
up
way,
in
there's
different
another Angry Birds
countries.
movie?
Media outlets
An Angry
reported
Birds
Rovio Games had
Parks?
its best year ever in 2016. However, the gaming releases that Angry Birds was known for was still declining in quality. In his video, I played and ranked every Angry Birds game so
Jake
you don't
Miller?
have to. Jake Miller talks about Angry Birds action.
Angry Birds Action was the start of using the new anthropomorphic designs from the movies in their games, which I think most fans agree was the real beginning of
What
the
is
end
this?
for the series.
Which happened to be the first game
Oh.
after the movie. Similarly, in the Reddit thread asking about the worst Angry Birds game, one user implied it was most of them after the movie's
Literally
release.
every new game?
Said games included Angry Birds Fight, aka a Candy Crush ripoff,
Candy Crush
as well as
Angry Birds.
Match, which was described as extremely bland. However, thankfully for Rovio, their older titles were still extremely popular, with
Wow.
Angry Birds 2's revenue growing 47% in 2018,
Oh my
despite
God.
it being over 3 years old. This gave them the budget to make a second movie. However, their
Oh my
$65 million
God.
bet didn't pay off so well
Six-
this time.
Oh, wow.
Forbes wrote Angry Birds 2 is worse than the original in nearly every way.
Yo.
whilst Rotten Tomatoes critics added a distressingly ineffective sequel that grows less and less interesting and more tiresome as it unfolds. Still, the movie made a profit of 82 million, right as the company
Oh my god, they're still making profit.
was making some weird changes. Despite their older games being low maintenance, Rovio decided to completely stop updating them. Then, without explanation,
Angry Birds
some of the
crashed?
older beloved titles, including the original Angry Birds, were deleted from the App Store. When people began to talk about what they'd
Why?
done, people
Why did
made
it happen?
compilations stating Angry Birds was dead. There were comments like, "Remember when
Rovio
Rovio
actually cared?
Was hashtag bring
Wait. What do you mean? What do you mean that when Rovio actually cared? Bro, they never cared. All they cared about was making money. That's all they cared about. Dude, they made 70 games before Angry Birds. And when Angry Birds hit that audience, that's all he did. That's all he did. They milked it. They milked it to death.
Remember when Rovio actually
Really?
aired
That
what
happened in 2017? 70% of the games got deleted? Really?
hashtag bring back 2012 became
Bring back 2012. It's the same thing when people say like bring back 2016. Like just let it go, dude. We're in 2025. Just let 2016 go, please.
Twitter. Things got so bad that Rovio apologized,
Really?
stating they only did it as maintaining the highest quality of updates and live operations isn't possible with our older games. In response to the backlash, that announced they planned on redeveloping Angry Birds Classic, which was re-released on the App Store in 2022, but
Angry
at
Birds
a price
Classic.
of $1.99 with no in-game purchases. They'd changed Classic's name to Red's First Flight, making it
What?
harder to find in the App Store.
They changed it to Red's First Flight? That's the worst name to... Why would you do that? It's Angry Birds. It's not Red's First Flight. What?
Thus prompting players to buy the newer, more profitable games.
Wow.
This successfully fooled some people.
Wow, that is crazy. That is actually crazy. So they purposely named it Red's First Flight, so then people would spend more money on Angry Birds 2? Wow. Wow.
Players to buy the newer, more profitable games.
Wow.
This successfully fooled some people who struggled to find it on the App Store. However, others
Wow.
knew exactly what Angry Birds was doing. They
My theory, which was proven right recently, was that the old games took away from Rovio's newer and cheap games. They got rid of the old ones so that you would have no other choice than play the modern Candy Crush-esque games. No way! Wow, how was that proven right? They updated and resold the original Angry Birds. I bought it and I still have it on my phone for only 99 cents. You got the full original package again. And what did it do? It became popular again and stole away money and attention from the trash games. So they removed it from Android and renamed it Red's First Flight on Apple. You see it now? They despise the games they made the company and lost its spirit.
got rid of the old ones.
Wow.
So that you would have no other choice than to
Wow.
play the modern Candy Crush-esque games.
Wow.
They despised the games that made the company and so lost its spirit. Rovio basically confirmed this, openly stating they changed the name due to the game's impact on our wider games portfolio. They further requested that fans continue to bring that passion to our live
Yep, that's Angry Birds on the
Slingshot
inside.
games, such as Angry Birds 2. However, players weren't too happy. We hope those fans can continue to bring that passion to our other games which have been designed to be more psychologically manipulative and stuffed with more
That is fucked up.
microtransactions. Fixed it for you. The
That is
drama was
fucked
so
up.
severe, it seemingly halted any future games, as Angry Birds Classic is still the most recent title, released way back in 2022. In 2023,
Okay, Sega?
Rovio was sold to Sega.
Whoa!
although this is done
Sega bought Rovio? What the heck?
little to fix their reputation. One recent tweet expressed, "I very much still love Angry Birds. That said, the current state of it is dog shit.
Sega is cookies,
My hope for
ain't
the
it?
franchise
Wait,
is
what?
at an all-time low
I don't
right
get it.
now.
Is
I'll
that
just
is it like a joke? Sega is cookies? Wait, what?
continue to enjoy what I love about it.
They
but
own
it's sad to
Sonic.
see what it's become. Despite everything, Angry Birds isn't finished, as they
That was
just
actually a really good
announced they're
video.
making a third movie.
Selga. Oh,
Although
okay.
with the rest of the franchise
third
in
movie.
decline, its performance might be interesting.
Yeah, we'll see about that. That is really interesting. They're making a third one now. And Sega bought Angry Birds or Rovio.